Man, what up? Photo video got cut, unfortunately. Fuck, nigga. Man, fucking up my video, dog. All up in the way. Can't man, you don't know where I'm coming from, big brother. Just stay where you at, gang. Why Asians eat dogs? I was halfway through it. This just where we starting off, nigga. I ain't going back. I ain't faking nothing. I seen that first part already. You can't fault me, gang.
Food, but we don't often hear about that. Cameroon, Ghana, and other African countries do the same. And historically, some indigenous peoples in Mexico ate dog meat, particularly this guy, a Mexican hairless dog. So, why
what? That nigga eating a big rat. Gang, that is not a dog. I've never seen that.
Ate dog meat, particularly this guy, a Mexican hairless dog. So, why Asia? If people are eating dogs and cats in other places, why did the whole Asians eat dogs stereotype stick? Part of it is historical. In ancient China, we know they ate dog meat for thousands of years. Dogs were raised not just for companionship or guarding, but also as livestock. In Korea, dog meat soup was believed to boost stamina and mass.
My nigga, boost stamina, gang. That's probably what they think chili look like. Like when they see a pot of American chili, they probably think that shit look like dog meat, my nigga. Shit. How we look at dog meat, that's how they look at American chili. You gotta look at it from their eyes too, gang. They probably look at a lot of shit we do weird, but dog meat, that's insane. That's no longer weird.
Masculinity, especially during hot summer months. And in Vietnam, some still believe eating dog meat at the end of the Lunar New Year brings good luck and wards off bad spirits. So there's history there. But ancient cultures weren't the only ones. They say Romans did it, Polynesians did too, and Aztecs bred dogs for food as well. So again, why Asia? Well, it seems like timing mattered. Food as well.
We learned about them fuck niggas in class. Y'all eating dogs too?
So again, why Asia? Well, it seems like timing mattered. American exposure to Asian food came largely through war, not exactly a time for cultural nuance and understanding. During World War II, the Korean War, and especially the Vietnam War, American soldiers stationed overseas saw unfamiliar foods and they brought back stories. Some were real, others exaggerated. But when you're dehumanizing an enemy, anything goes, including mocking what they eat. Visibility also played a role. Unlike the wrapped ground beef in Western supermarkets, some traditional Asian markets displayed live animals for sale. Dogs in cages, cats in baskets, frogs in tanks, and that's jarring to outside eyes.
I ain't gonna lie.
Dogs in cages.
Shit. I see one of them cats, nigga, I want it to keep. Real life.
Cages, cats in baskets, frogs in tanks, and that's jarring to outside eyes. Once a stereotype like that becomes popular, it can be shorthand for weird or uncivilized. The image has legs, literally. So overall, the stereotype came from truth, war, media, and a persistent human instinct to draw lines between us and them, and often to look down on people who do things differently. In truth, most of us don't think too hard about why we eat the animals we do.
Dogs got protein? The fuck? Wait.
Most Americans grew up eating chicken, pork, beef, maybe some fish sticks, and that's just what's for dinner. But the second someone mentions dog food, we cringe. But disgust isn't a fact, it's a feeling. Like most feelings, it's a product of who raised you, where you live, and what your culture takes as normal. So certainly one important factor is that the
nigga ain't lying. Nigga ain't lying. I eat just about anything. If I grew up around in their era, and I growed up just being Asian and shit, I might eat dog meat too. Shit, I'll probably look at it as some steak, to be honest. Nigga, ain't nothing really nasty for real, gang. I don't know. I be eating anything.
The closer an animal is to our daily lives, the harder it is to see as food. We've domesticated our dogs, cats, and other animals. We take care of them.
With hotels and
Nigga, don't act like if you ain't come from there, you wouldn't eat the dog meat, gang. You know you'll eat the dog meat. Nigga, just capping. You capping. You had an Asian mama, an Asian daddy. They sat down and prepared that dog meat, nigga. You gonna eat it?
They're not just animals, they're family. Cows and chickens don't live in our houses, but there's still a wide variability of how we view animals regardless of where they live. I mentioned earlier that pigs are smart. They can play video games, recognize their names, form emotional bonds, just like dogs. But in the US, the only food more American than hamburgers is bacon. And we eat about 75 million pigs every year. And bunnies, they're so adorable that they're basically the universal mascot for cuteness. But they're on the menus in some US restaurants, and they're even more popular in parts of France, Italy, and China. Horses aren't eaten in the US, but in parts of France, Belgium, Italy, and Japan, horse meat is available raw, seared, or even sausages. An American might be bothered by that, but most of us grab a burger, wear leather shoes, or sit on a leather sofa without a second thought. And in India, cows are holy. Harming one isn't just offensive, it's criminal in many states. In fact,
I need a medium, please. That's how I need mine cooked.
40% of Indians are vegetarians. To them, all of these foods are off limits. So it's not about logic, it's about who we are and who we're not. And food is one of the oldest tribal markers we have. Paul Rosen, a psychologist who spent decades studying disgust, says that disgust protects the soul, not the body. It's not just about staying healthy, it's about staying morally or even spiritually pure. Across much of the Middle East and Jewish communities around the world, pork is strictly forbidden. Islam and Judaism both consider pigs unclean, and that shaped entire cuisines for thousands of years. In Hinduism, it's beef.
They say they consider pigs unclean. I mean, they are, but shit, I never get a pig as a pet. The fuck I want a pig for? They cute as little piglets, but once they get big, they get ugly. They like a Frenchie, ugly ass dog, smushed in face.
That's off limits. Buddhists often promote vegetarianism, especially among monks, but in practice, especially in places like China or Thailand, most still eat meat because the faith says it's more important not to kill them than not to eat. So if someone else does the slaughtering, the moral burden is lifted. My point is to show how deeply food choices are tied to identity, morality, and culture. What we eat shows our loyalty, belonging, and in some cases, righteousness. And when somebody eats something outside,
that's a bar. He not lying, no.
our loyalty are tied to identity, morality, and culture. What we eat shows our loyalty, belonging, and in some cases, righteousness. And when somebody eats something outside of our food code, especially something we see as cuddly, sacred, or symbolic of a home, it doesn't just gross us out, it makes them feel foreign. So it seems these food preferences aren't just about food, but about how we see ourselves and others, and how we saw them in the past. Look, another thing that affects how we see ourselves is what we call ourselves. And if you've been around long at all, you've noticed that many groups and ethnicities rename themselves quite frequently. And then the old names are often considered insults. Colored person and Negro used to be terms of respect for Black Americans, but not anymore. And is it Black or African American? This is one of my very favorite videos because
Why is it your favorite? How much you profited off this video?
when I was a kid, Martin Luther King Jr. led what he and other Black
Okay, you did what you needed to do. A 90 ball, a 90 ball. This was cuz talking about people eating dogs. Shit, I ain't gonna lie. If you was from where they was from, you'd eat it too. And I just say whatever they eat don't make me shit. So I could care less. I don't care nothing about what they eat, bro. Long as they ain't touching mines, I could care less. Feel me? But man, y'all know how I get those dick. I ain't fuck with me, don't fuck without me, bitch. I'm gone.